studying and experimenting with his grimoire. One day, while he is playing with Denka again, his mother suddenly walks into the room. This time, Alan does not manage to hide the creature in time. Tessia sees Denka and panics. Shocked and frightened, she collapses to the ground. Hearing the commotion, Radon rushes into the room. Karina happens to be nearby as well. At that moment, Radon realizes something urgent. The baby could be born at any moment. He immediately turns to Karina and says, "Quick, go call your mother." A little while later, Gerard arrives with his wife, Matilda. The moment she steps into the room, she calmly but firmly orders all the men outside. They need space, and everyone understands. Hours pass. Then morning comes. The sound of a newborn crying fills the house. Alan already knows what it means. His little brother has been born into this world. Radon proudly gives the baby a name, Marsh. As Alan watches his tiny brother, something shifts inside him. For the first time, this world truly feels real and precious. He realizes how much he loves this new life. He makes a silent promise to himself. No matter what it takes, he will give his family a better future. He will make them wealthy. He will protect them. The only problem is, he has no idea how he is going to accomplish that. Years pass. Alan finally turns 5 years old. The day of the April ceremony has arrived. He walks beside his father, Radon, toward the place where his future will be revealed. This is the day when everyone will learn about his talent, about his summoner class, and his ability to call forth different kinds of beasts. As they walk, Radon speaks gently to him. "Alan, if you have talent, we'll find out today. The ceremony will reveal everything. Maybe, just maybe, it could change our lives." But he also adds, "There will be many children there. The competition at your age is intense." Alan listens quietly. They continue down the road, moving toward the ceremony grounds. Along the way, they run into Karina and her father, Gerard. Alan's face lights up. Karina is his only real friend in this world. Seeing her gives him confidence. Eventually, they reach the city. For Alan, it feels overwhelming. The buildings are larger, the streets are busier, children his age are everywhere. But something quickly becomes clear. The other children are dressed in fine, elegant clothing, expensive fabrics, clean shoes, confident expressions. Alan looks down at himself. Compared to them, he and the other village kids look painfully poor. The city children whisper and casually label them as low class, serfs. Alan feels the weight of it, but he keeps walking. Together, they head toward the church, where the April ceremony will take place. As they approach, commoners along the road stare openly at them, some with curiosity, others with quiet judgment. Alan tightens his small fist. Today will decide everything. The reason the crowd kept staring was simple. They did not want low-class children, serfs, to rise above their place. Soon, all the children finally reached the church. A few church officials stepped forward and formally welcomed everyone. "Today," one of them announced proudly, "with the blessing of the God of creation, Alimia, we will discover your children's talents." Excitement spread instantly through the room. Alan already knew the name Alimia. In his past life, Alimia had been the developer of the game, the one who created this entire world. Here, however, people worshipped Alimia as a god. They were led into the main ceremony hall. The moment Alan stepped inside, his eyes landed on a massive statue at the front of the room. It was Alimia. They had built an enormous monument to the game's developer and treated him like a divine being. Church members began explaining how the April ceremony would work. As they spoke, something clicked in Alan's mind. Alimia. That was the same name attached to the mysterious letter he had received in his previous life before being reincarnated. The ceremony began. A church official stepped forward and announced, "We will call each child one by one. When they touch the crystal ball, their magical attributes and talents will be revealed." The first child called was Pulmus, the village chief's son. He walked forward nervously, hands shaking. After a brief hesitation, he placed his palm on the crystal ball. It began to glow. After examining the result, a church member turned to his father and said, "Your son has talent as a merchant." Pulmus's father beamed with pride. Any talent was rare, and having one meant opportunity. Sakai. As the child touched the crystal, parts of his stats became visible to everyone present. Meanwhile, Alan stood off to the side, completely relaxed. He already knew his class and talent, summoning magic. He was in no rush. Casually, he pulled out his grimoire and began recording information inside it. Strangely, no one else could see the book. Another child stepped forward and touched the crystal. Nothing happened. The ball did not glow at all. That meant no talent. The boy burst into tears and ran back to his father, who comforted him gently. Next came a child named Dora. He confidently placed his hand on the crystal. This time it glowed brightly. His stats appeared before everyone. He possessed the talent of an axeman. Even more shocking, his magical attribute ranked at A rank. It was the first high-ranked result of the day. Gasps filled the church, and Dora's father stood tall with pride. One by one, children stepped forward. Some discovered talents. Others left disappointed. Then it was Karina's turn. She ran eagerly toward the crystal and placed her hand on it. The reaction was immediate. The crystal erupted with intense light, far brighter than before. Murmurs spread through the hall. No one understood what was happening. Gerard looked terrified for his daughter's safety and instinctively moved closer. The church officials stared at the revealed status window in disbelief. Finally, they announced the result. This is no ordinary talent. She possesses one of the rarest talents in the entire world. The Sword Lord. The room exploded with shock. Her stats were overwhelmingly superior to every other child's. It was almost unbelievable that a poor villager's daughter could possess something so extraordinary. Alan felt genuinely happy for her. Then it was his turn. He stepped forward calmly and placed his hand on the crystal ball. Nothing happened. Confused, he tried again. Suddenly, the crystal flared with blinding light, so intense that Alan was knocked backward onto the floor. Radon rushed toward him in panic. But after checking the result, the church officials delivered crushing news. Your son has no trait. Alan froze. He quickly checked his own status. Something was terribly wrong. All of his attributes had dropped to E rank. Every single one. It felt like a glitch. Frustration boiled inside him. In his mind, he cursed the developer. What kind of game is this? There has to be a bug. Radon knelt beside him and tried to comfort him, but Alan could not process what had just happened. He returned home in silence. His family tried to reassure him, telling him that everything would be fine. That night, Alan sat alone with his grimoire open, staring at his stats. Then it hit him. He had chosen Hell Mode. Of course it would not be easy. Of course his path would be harder than everyone else's. If he wanted to reach the top, he would have to work far harder than anyone around him. The next morning, Alan's family visited Karina's house to celebrate her Sword Lord talent. Villagers gathered together, sharing food and laughter. Everyone was thrilled about Karina's future. Matilda even arranged some drinks for the adults. The atmosphere was joyful and loud. Everyone was happy. Everyone except Radon. He tells Jared, only you guys should be celebrating. That makes Alan wonder if his father might be feeling a little jealous. After all, only Karen has the rare Sword Lord talent, while his own son, Alan, supposedly has none. But Alan knows his dad well. If something seems off, there's probably a deeper reason. Meanwhile, Jared and Reedon start arguing. The tension rises fast, and before anyone can stop them, it turns physical. Everyone watching is completely shocked. Just then, their wives step in and shut the whole fight down. Later, they explain to Alan and Karen that they've been friends since childhood. They discovered the village together and even built their homes side by side. Raiden then turns to Jared and says bluntly, your daughter has serious talent. She could become a knight, maybe even a noble someday. So stop wasting time hanging around families like ours who are just serfs. Jared snaps back. Have you lost your mind? Before the argument can go any further, a man runs up to Jared, out of breath. Jared, the knights are summoning your daughter. Now, whether they like it or not, they have to head toward the city. As Jared and Reedon leave, a boy named Dora approaches Alan. What are you even doing here? He asks. Alan can't respond. Karen, however, is clearly irritated at Dora. At that moment, the kingdom's knights begin arriving in the city. The news spreads quickly, and everyone is stunned. Soon, the captain of the knights, Xanoff, steps forward. I've heard there's a sword lord in this village, he says. Jared replies confidently, yes, that's my daughter. Karen runs up just then. Xanoff looks at her carefully. So, this 5-year-old girl is the sword lord? I don't believe it. I'll have to test her myself. A test? Everyone is shocked. What kind of test could he mean? Xanoff clarifies, I don't trust you or this child. She'll have to duel one of my men, one-on-one. Jared and the others are furious. Karen is only 5 years old, and Xanoff wants her to fight the vice commander, Lebrend, a man known for his overwhelming power. But they have no choice. Lebrend steps forward. Karen follows. The duel begins. At first, Lebrend handles everything easily. Then Karen starts striking again and again. Suddenly, LeBrand cheats. He kicks her hard, sending her flying backward. Jared and Alan are furious, but other knights restrain them. Then something changes. A green aura bursts out from Karen's body. Xanoff immediately realizes she has awakened an extra skill. Karen launches a relentless assault. LeBrand can't keep up. Finally, she shatters his sword. The match is over, Xanoff announces. The crowd erupts in excitement over Karen's victory. Xanoff approaches Jared. "Forgive me, I doubted your daughter, but I'd like to discuss her future. If you don't trust me, bring your friends." That evening, they meet at the village chief's house. Xanoff introduces himself properly and explains that his master sent him to confirm whether a true sword lord existed here. "There is no doubt," he says. "A sword lord has been born in this village. You should even consider renaming it Karen Village." Everyone is stunned. He explains that 3 years ago, a child with the same supposed talent served the royal family, but failed. After investigation, the knights discovered he wasn't a sword lord at all, just an ordinary swordsman. Since then, the knights decided to personally test anyone claiming that title. When Karen turns 12, she must attend the Magic Academy. Xanoff continues. After that, she can serve the royal family. Dora suddenly asks, "Can we go to the Magic Academy too?" Karen beams. "Of course, we're all going, even Alan." "What? That kid doesn't even have talent." Alan is speechless. If only they knew. He's mentally 40 years old, far more intelligent than any of them. Xanoff then turns to Alan and his father. "And who might you be?" Raiden introduces himself and his son, but Xanoff already recognizes him. "So you're the famous boar hunter Raiden? It's an honor. My master enjoys the meat you provide. I've heard you play a major role in boar hunting." Alan suddenly realizes something. His dad is basically a superstar. After that, everyone heads home. As Alan reflects, one thing becomes clear. He may have started this game on Hell mode, but no matter what, he's going to finish it.